Welcome to System Dynamics Online Tutorials. In this session we're going to cover the deviation report under the Physical Inventory suite of applications. Under the inventory module within the physical inventory process we have the deviation report. What that deviation report does is give us a hard copy listing or report of the quantities between the tag count and what was currently on hand according to the system, and allows us to see the deviation both from a quantity perspective as well as a cost perspective. The system can be run for the range of product groups that the physical inventory was done on at a range of the product groups at the given warehouse location, and you can select it either to be detail or summary. I will show both here. The detail gives all of the tag information, i.e. the tag number, the tag count, the lot number of the product, etc. Whereas summary actually just removes that tag information and gives me by product group and the product itself. So if we want to execute this report, we would simply put in the range of the product group that we want to analyze on. I'll accept the defaults here of all product groups, and we can choose to run for a given warehouse. So I can use the list of values to pull down the warehouse location, and then the report type we will let it go as a default for detail, and then compare that to the listing of summary. We execute the application and we get our standard batcher online. I will run this to the previewer in the screen, and we're presented with a list of the deviation as it was entered within the tag entry. I'll just bring this into view here, and we're left with a report here that displays the product, the description of the lot number if it was a lot controlled item, the tag number that it was counted on, the bin location, the transaction date, the tag quantity, which is the actual physical count that was given by the stock taker. The system displays the standard cost, the current on hand below that, and then we have the unit of measure and the product group that the product belongs to, and the per, cost price per, and the on hand quantity that the system says that it has here. The deviation quantity is calculated based on the tag quantity and the on-hand quantity, and we get a deviation here of less -2, so we're saying the physical count was 2 less than what the actual system said that it had, and the system report actually does a grand total here for the total grand total of units out, and then gives a grand total of the dollar value that's out here. This is the deviation amount for the on-hand cost of the product. Here we have 32 cents per unit, so we're out, since we're out 2, we're out by 64 cents. And the system will give me an extension of these grand totals here for the quantity for the deviation amount, or the quantity on hand. And that concludes the deviation report for detail. If we run the same report again, I'll pick the same warehouse, and we'll do it for a summary. The system breaks down and removes all of the lot information and the tag information, and just gives me the product group deviation count. This is useful for a quick picture of what's happening after the physical inventory is run. So we will execute it for the summary portion. Again, run it to the screen previewer, and I'll bring it into view here. And we have, you can see the product group here is caps, the group description is bottle caps, and then we just basically break it down, all the products within that product group. We show the standard cost, the unit of measure, and the per over here, the on-hand quantity according to the system, the tag quantity according to the stock take, the deviation amount calculated, the deviation quantity calculated, the deviation amount, and then simply the extension of the cost. The group is then totaled with a subtotal should the group change, and then a grand total by report. Concludes the deviation report.